Hey, just Editor Martin here. Just here to tell you that while it's minor, it's just some student replies to a tweet. There are some mentions of transphobia here, so just a heads up for that. Yeah. What the fuck is all the hype with Twitter clout? Context. Yesterday, December 1st, a tweet of mine blew up. Like, really blew up. Like, what the fuck are the numbers? It has. Oh god, I can't read numbers. 75.6? At the time of filming this, it has 75.6k retweets and 214k likes. Those numbers make my head hurt. So for context, in case you didn't know, yesterday, December 1st, 2020, dating this video, Elliot Page came out as trans, which is amazing. I was so goddamn happy for him. Fellow he-they, welcome to the community, Elliot. You're not watching this. The thing with a celebrity coming out is that it's automatically like huge news. Like obviously like, oh my god, Elliot Page is trans and now people know and that's so awesome. And so obviously there were gonna be a lot of cis people who wouldn't know what to say or would just kind of say the wrong thing. Like, you know, like there are those cis people and you know they're well-intentioned, but like what they say just really doesn't sound right and you're like, oh god, Uncle Gary, no. So I figured I would just make like a little thread. I was just like, here's like 13 quick points. I think there's 13. I didn't count them. Hey, it's Editor Martin. Yeah, there are 13. Good job. Here's just 13 quick points on like basic trans etiquette. What to do when someone you know comes out as trans. So in light of Elliot Page coming out, I'm gonna remind you guys of basic, very basic trans etiquette in this thread. 1. You don't use their birth name. Ever. That shit is dead. You forget it even existed. She is now a he is the worst phrase. Please drop it. Correct people if they use the wrong pronouns. Correct people if they use the wrong pronouns. Correct people if they use the wrong pronouns. If you're a cis person, if you're a cis ally, and someone is talking about your trans friend, and they use the wrong pronouns, correct them. Please correct them. Don't ask people what surgeries they've had or are planning on having. That's just, like, you wouldn't go up to some random dude and be like, hey, when are you getting that vasectomy? It's weird. You don't want to learn about people's genitals. That's just weird. Don't fucking do it. Oh my god, I never would have known you were trans is not the compliment you think it is. It's so not the compliment you think it is. If you slip up on names and pronouns, that's okay. Just quickly correct yourself and move on. Don't make it a big deal. For God's sake, don't make it a big deal. You don't need to be like, oh, she, sorry, he, oh my god, shoot me in the foot, kill me. You don't need to do that. Please don't do that. That makes it 10 times worse. All you gotta do is you gotta go, he, oh, sorry, she, and then move on. That's all you gotta do. Make an effort on pronouns. It's not hard. It's really not hard to just make an effort. You don't need to go over the top when you mess up. Just a quick apology and move on, but just make that apology. Make that correction. Please. Please. Hey, it's Editor Martin. Filmu Martin just completely forgot a whole ass section of his own thread. So I'm here to fix his mistakes. As always. He, she, it, whatever is not the funny comment you think it is. Ask what you can do to support your trans friends. You don't get a special prize for using the right name and pronouns. It's basic respect. Don't act like you're doing them a favor. Okay, back to filming Martin being a dumbass. Everyone transitions in their own way and at their own pace. You don't get to police that. You don't get to ask people, oh, so when are you going on testosterone? So when are you cutting your hair? So when are you changing your name legally? That's not your place. That's not your place. If someone doesn't pass for you, that's not your place to tell them that they don't pass. You don't know what they're going through. You don't know what their financial situation is. You don't know. So you don't get to police that shit. Don't ask them if their label on their sexuality has changed. That's just not your business. In light of the Elliot Page situation, I went to go look up Emma Portner's Twitter, because Emma Portner is Elliot's spouse. And I went to go look her up, and she doesn't have a Twitter. But all of the replies were, so is Emma Portner straight now? That's not your fucking business. When the fuck was that ever your business? And just lastly, just be respectful. it's not hard to be respectful. So that was the thread that I posted, and I was like, all right, easy. Here are just some quick pointers. It'll all be great. Yeah, and it started gaining traction. I was like, okay, that's fine. It's happened to me before. It's happened with a few other things, and I was like, okay, great, that's awesome. I'm educating people. Obviously, there were transphobes in the replies, and at first I tried to reply them, and I was like, haha, you're getting owned. And then I just kind of gave up because I was like, you're not worth my time. If I can't educate you, you're not worth my time. Fuck off. Yeah, and then after like an hour of it gaining traction, it had a lot. And I think I had like 10k retweets at that point. I was like, that's absolutely insane. So I added Kai's Top Surgery at the bottom. By the way, if you want to donate to Kai's Top Surgery, link will be below. Thank you. And then shit kind of hit the fan. Yeah, the first big one was when it got to 50k likes. And RIP Mika replied. And she thanked me for making the thread. And I was like, and then she retweeted it. She retweeted the thread. I was like, I am on RIP Mika's Twitter feed. I am on her Twitter page. She lives in my notice rent free. And then I had a few people asking if they could repost my stuff to Instagram and to Tumblr, which I was totally okay with. That's like super cool because it's an educational thread. Best to spread it. And then I got tagged in a tweet of someone who was like, oh, listen to Emma Portner. And they tagged me in it. And I was like, oh, that's weird. What the hell? And then I realized that Emma Portner put my thread on her Instagram story. I was on Emma Portner. Emma Portner. Elliot's wife. I was put on her Instagram story. Her Instagram story, when I checked it, was Elliot's coming out, and then my Twitter thread. So that was something. And then it followed with my phone not shutting the fuck up. Did you know when you mute a conversation on Twitter, you still get notifications? You don't get all of the mentions and the retweets and stuff in your like little notif box. But they still pop up at the top. Just constantly. And I tried to put my phone on Do Not Disturb. It did not work. I can't turn off notifications for Twitter. It just doesn't work. Like literally I'm getting notifications as I'm filming on my phone right now. It just doesn't work, so I live in hell. So that's great. Another great thing that happened was Kai's Top Surgery went from around like $3,500 to like $5,000. It's actually closer to 6,000 now, which is wild. Thank you so much. So that was wild. It just kept going. It just kept going. It kept blowing up, and I was like, this is absolutely insane. So I put my phone down and I went to bed. It was like midnight. I was like, nope, I'm done. Going to bed. Goodbye. And then I woke up the next morning. My Twitter was popping the fuck off. I am so sorry to everyone who followed my Twitter. It's not all gonna be trans educational resources. It's me screaming and being gay. I am so sorry. I checked my Instagram DMs, and I had like 5 message requests, and I was like, hello? And a lot of them were just, they were LGBTQ Instagram sources who had mentioned me in their story when they had posted their thread, and I was like, that's awesome, great. And then I had a DM from a reporter. At Bored Panda who wanted to ask more questions about the thread that I posted. So I did an interview at like 9 in the morning in my bed over Instagram DMs. So I was in a news article, and then I went to Twitter, and I found out I was in like 8 more. So that was this morning. Earlier today, I got an Instagram DM from a reporter at the Daily Mail. The Daily Mail. thedailymail.co.uk. Well, it was the dailymail.com because it was like the US section. But like, I did an interview with the Daily Mail over my thread that I thought would get no more than 100 likes. I'm not convinced this is real. Like, it's just so insane. I don't know what the fuck happened. I was literally just trying to provide some basic trans etiquette. Just like, here's how you be a basic, respectful human being to a trans person. And it popped off because apparently people didn't know this stuff, which I'm so glad that it popped off because now it means that more people do know this stuff, which I'm so very happy about because that's all I wanted from this thread was to educate people, and it was working. My dad has decided to vacuum. I'm in the middle of filming. John, give me a moment. John, doesn't he know I'm a professional YouTuber? Oh my god, this thing is Oh god, fuck. Under my thread, there were a lot of really common questions that I seemed to see a lot. I tried to answer them to my best underneath the thread, but I just wanted to address them here too, just in case other people had those questions. They seem to be common questions, may as well answer them. How do you use he, they pronouns? So, personally, I use he, they pronouns along with Elliot Page, absolute icon, he, they icon. So with he, they pronouns, generally, you use both. All it means is that the person who uses he, they pronouns is comfortable using both. If someone goes, oh yeah, Martin, he did this, I feel great with that. If someone goes, Martin, they did this, I feel great with that. It's all just about comfort and what you're comfortable with feeling. So like, if you want to use he, they pronouns in a conversation, you don't have to switch every other word. You don't have to like just alternate between them, but just like in general, like throughout various conversations, make an effort to use both he and they pronouns. How do we refer to Elliot without dead naming them? This was a question that I got a lot. Because a lot of people were like, how will people know who I'm talking about if I just start using Elliot? And the best recommendation that I have is refer to his work. That's the best thing to do with trans actors. Oh yeah, Elliot, he acted in the Umbrella Academy as Vanya. Oh, Elliot, he won an award for playing Juno. Like, that's all it is. It's, you just refer to their work or you show photos, but just, oh my god, don't dead name them. It's the first point on the thread. Don't dead name them. Please, it's so disrespectful. If you're unsure of someone's pronouns or name, is it okay to ask? Please ask. Please ask. That is the best thing to do. I would feel so much more comfortable if someone were to say, hey, what is your pronouns? Than just try and assume. It's great. It's wonderful. Ask for pronouns. Ask for names. Highly encouraged. Now that the questions are over, I want to have some fun. Because obviously with a viral tweet, there's gonna be a lot of responses. And some of them are pure art. So let me share some of my best responses. The first one I want to talk about was someone said I was talking over trans people. I don't have the screenshot for it, I can't find it. But I remember it so clearly because someone was like, you're speaking over trans people, you're being transphobic. Who's gonna tell him? I know I typically just repost porn and erotic art, but this shit is important. Be kind and respectful to everyone. So this account only posts porn. They're a full porn account. And then they were just like, trans rights, back to porn. This was under Kai's top surgery link. Someone said, top surgery? With a gif of a spinning top. Oh, Lee Merrickson? Lee M. Erickson? I don't know. I love you. Red Lobster Crab Fest is going on right now. Thank you, Dylan. Good to know. Someone, I think this was them trying to be like, you don't control me, because I got a whole lot of those comments. Someone went, who made you God? How do I even respond to that? A classic from Oscar Hernandez. You're shameless. Hey, can I have some basic respect? You're shameless. Another reply under Kai's top surgery. They want other people to pay for their hacking of body parts. Him with his body parts. This one had me like, I was on call with Kai. I was just crying of laughter. Who the fuck are you to make rules deciding how Elliot Page should be treated? This is the most transphobic shit I've ever seen. Elliot is an individual person. You're not some trans savior with your disgusting list. You calling me transphobic? Who's gonna tell him? And then finally a classic. I am Bawidwan. You go, Bawidwan. In general, that thread was very interesting to have blow up. That's my 15 minutes of fame for Twitter. Thanks, Twitter. For all of my wonderful trans people watching. I love you all so much. I know I discussed a lot of really negative things that were said in this thread. But for the most part, if you look at the replies, it's people saying, thank you for educating me. I'm gonna work towards doing this. Or like spreading it to help educate others. And the conversations that are still going on in there, while I've muted the thread, there are still conversations going on that are educating other people. And that's all I wanted from that thread. And it's so amazing to see that people are learning and growing. And hopefully one day, this thread will just be common knowledge. That's what I want. That's the end goal, is to have the shit in this thread be just common knowledge. We shouldn't need this thread. I have a message for all those people who were so like, needlessly angry underneath it. Like, they were so upset. They were like, how dare you tell me what to do? How dare you be trans? I'd watch what you were saying. You wouldn't want anyone to think you're a snowflake.